Hi guys, welcome to RBTV episode 14. I sat down with Matt, Johnny, Rob from Darlington Team, American Football Club. I actually know all the guys from back in the day from being in the band together. I've played in like various projects with Matty and Rob, who were brothers, and Johnny was the guitarist in one of the first bands that I was ever involved in that took things quite seriously, so it's quite nice to just see him anyway and hang out. But we talked about how they got involved in American football and how you can get involved in American football if you're so fancy. It's not, if you're not interested in American football, I still feel like it was a pretty good listen. So yeah, check it out. Let us know what you think. If anyone wants to come on the podcast, feel free to drop me a message. I've got bookings and stuff, but I'm always up for interesting ideas. So yeah, give us a shout. Enjoy it. See you on the flip side, I think. Oh no, shit. So that's what I was meant to say. I've got a sponsor, it's great. 10 Feet Tall, who supply the office that I'm in, have come on board as a sponsor, which is nice of them. Check out 10feettall.co.uk for all their listings. They put on a lot of comedy gigs. They also run like some nightclub events. They do stuff at the Empire on a Friday and Saturday, Sumo and Milk. Various comedy nights all over Teesside. They're a nice, creative bunch of people, so yeah, and they let me use this room, which is nice of them. Don't have to do it, and they've got quite a lot in the pipeline. So yeah, get in touch with 10 Feet Tall if you like doing fun, entertaining shit. Thank you to 10 Feet Tall for coming on board as a sponsor. Cool. Episode 14. Enjoy. Hi everyone. I'm here with Matty, Rob, Johnny from Darlington Team. We actually all know each other from varying music backgrounds. Me and John were in like my first like serious band was Nine Lives to Skydivers, wasn't it? Like,
it was serious, man.
Yeah, like I've probably I've been friends with you maybe longer than I've been friends with these two. Like really, yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we go back. But I kind of went into MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you guys started doing American football, which is what I'm here to talk about. So
not that dissimilar, I guess.
No, there's a lot of like, yeah, there's a lot of similarities. I think there's a lot of similarities in sports in general, just kind of like that competitiveness. I've found that I'm incredibly competitive, and I didn't even realise.
Yeah.
I hadn't done any sports except for like football all the way through primary school, and I just started skateboarding and then music, and then just kind of fucked everything else off until like I kind of came full circle and started watching fighting and stuff.
I think skateboarding is more of a casual sport though, isn't it? It's not like you compete with people and things like that.
I wasn't like entering competitions or anything. I was just like getting stoned in Birmingham Town Centre, throwing myself downstairs. So.
It's kind of the same thing with us. So like, well, especially me, like I never played any like serious sport.
Yeah. And
then thought like, oh, I'll go and give it a go, and then realised how unfit I was. And
yeah.
Then I was like coming home and like couldn't walk for like 3 days. Not even like in contact, just because I was so like fat and like,
yeah.
But even when we first started, we'd go to a field and we'd get my dad to throw, but we'd handstand him in a corner, we'd throw footballs back and forth and just throwing the ball back and forth. He'd go in, my mum and be like, "You alright?" He'd be like, "Yeah, fine." Probably go for a sit down and stuff like that. Just say, "I'll get you a blanket," and things. It's just crazy how unfit you are before you start doing sport.
It's interesting kind of like finding out those limitations, isn't it? Because I remember even just like trying to think of a specific example, but I was on holiday, I think I was in Krakow, and we went up, I think you were there, years ago.
Yeah.
And we kind of went up a tower, and just walking upstairs, and I was like, I'm out of shape. It's like, I can't walk up 70 stairs, you know what I mean? And
legs are burning.
Until you maybe do something like that, or join an American football team and like have a go, you don't fucking realise quite.
No, you don't.
Like, yeah, it's brilliant. I wish more people would realise, and because I don't know about you guys, but it's just being interested in sports changed a lot. Like my diet's a lot better than it would have been, and that's not through being like I'm going to eat better and like train hard, like just slowly over time. I think you eat a bit better and you're a bit more conscious about what you might put into your body and what you might put out.
I'm the opposite.
It's had like a knock-on effect. So like I started playing and like I was like 15 stone, but like pure like no muscle at all. Like it was all just like podge, and like I like dropped that weight. Not like all through football. Like this is from like running and stuff like that. Dropped that weight, but then realised I had no muscle. So when I was getting hit, like I was just getting destroyed. Yeah. So then I've like joined the gym, and I'm not like massive now or anything like that, obviously, but like I can like hold my own, like, you know, under there. Like this is like
got pillows under
this is like my third hoodie and jacket ripping him. But like yeah, from that I've like had to kind of for a safety issue, like actually strengthen up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like it's the same. Like I'm looking at what I eat more, and I've like gathered that like it's not like crap. Like actually what you eat does affect. And like, I've always like thought, oh, I'll be alright, but then the healthier you eat, the healthier you are.
Yeah,
so,
I find it's
really good.
It's better motivationally to do it for like a sport than it's very hard to just go to the gym to look good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like the motivation's like zero because it's just like who cares? Like I'm going home to my wife.
There's like no reason for it, is it? Unless you're like single, really ugly. You don't have to be ripped here. But definitely do it for a spot. Yeah, it's nice.
Really put the weight on. I've always been thin. And for football, I guess it helps because we should be quick because our positions. We have to be quick, so we've got to be careful. We don't put too much weight or muscle on. But it would help.
Got to be fast.
Well, I mean, that's why I eat badly because I need to be quite heavy. Like the position I play, so I can be. As I'm strong and fat at the same time, it's alright. It's actually beneficial to be quite heavy.
Of American football,
well, basically, especially the linemen. Like we have some really big lads on the line who's like it benefits them to be so heavy. Like we've got these two defensive tackles. And we were just talking one day and we worked out that just between them two they have a combined weight of 56 stone. So like they're really big lads. And then there's two other lads on that squad as well on either side. So combined that unit must be like 100 stone. Yeah. Like a really heavy unit.
Jesus Christ.
That's why it's important for us to put some muscle on because they're
And in practice are they hitting you as well?
Yeah. It's not as like malicious but like you do get carried away. So, like I'll like go up like against someone like for example, mine, we were talking about him earlier, one of our other mates, and like I can see him coming to tackle me, so I think I'm just gonna steamroll you and just drop my shoulder and try and knock you flat on your ass.
Yeah.
And then when it gets like nasty, it's obviously in games. But,
That's why it gets a bit of bad rep. Rugby players say, "Oh, you've got to wear pads and you've got to wear the gear," but they're all generally quite
big lads,
tough guys. But when you've got someone that's thinner and faster. Hasn't got the muscle, but they could equally get hit by a guy that's so much bigger than them. It's going to hurt.
The thing with that is as well is like I don't fully understand rugby, but I think you can only really get hit when you're carrying the ball.
Right.
Whereas like as soon as you catch the ball, I can like be running downfield to block you, and all of a sudden someone like twice my weight will like hit me from like
I'm not expecting it as well. That's why obviously the gear.
What the kind of, I mean, and just from things I've listened to in the programmes I've watched and stuff, obviously rugby's tough as fuck and the people that do it are nuts. But with American football, you kind of have the illusion of padding. So you like, without that padding, you wouldn't run at each other the way that you do. But because you've got that, you just think, like it doesn't matter. So American footballers are just smashing into each other.
It makes the game more spectacular, I guess. Like because you've got that padding, you can afford to do certain things that you couldn't afford to do usually. Like your tackles can be kind of instant because like you don't have to worry like am I about to smash my face on the back of his head there if I tackle him like that or whatever. You can just like go for it.
Yeah,
because you've got a face cage that stops you knocking all your teeth out really. Whereas with rugby, I mean like I wouldn't like to play rugby because face get mashed in, so
I'd
have to get ripped, wouldn't I? I'd have to get ripped because of my ugly eyes.
Thing is as well, like a good thing for like Britball is like most fields that you play on are in parks. So the face cage is there, so when you come down your face, it keeps your distance away from dog poo. Because it's like you tackled me before and like it spun me around and my face like skinched this dog poo and I was just like, I don't.
As we're going down, he said, "There's dog poo." I was like, "Oh no, close your mouth."
Parks like. When you say park, I'm thinking like concrete.
No, like
John Whitehead's park.
Okay, yeah. This is a lot of dog shit.
Needles and all sorts. So
that's
what I've got the visor on there for. So I'm getting needles in my eyes.
Especially you've got to be careful.
Right as fuck.
How did you all get into American football? Like obviously it's becoming over the past 4 or 5 years. I've watched it. Like we watch it with our friends in Manchester sometimes. So at least I go down there and it just the Super Bowl that I'm referring to. Just because I enjoy it because it's a chance to see my friends. I sit down and I go, "What's the rules again?" And after 5 or 10 minutes, I'm back into it. But it's
is there a break again?
Stopping a lot of your round. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. So this hour-long game takes 4 hours. Like, but yeah, how did you guys get into it?
Who's been in it the longest? I think I've seen you can chat about Super Bowls. I've seen
you
3
wearing jerseys and stuff back in the day.
The first game I watched was 2007, like properly.
Yeah.
Because before that I was just, what is this? I'm not sure what's going on. But 2007, I think, watched the Giants Dolphins, and that was at Wembley.
Okay.
So that's probably because it was played over here, the first game I properly watched. And from there I got into it. So that's what, like 10, 11 years ago? But
yeah, you definitely wouldn't be.
Didn't really follow it up until it was like, well, let's American football. And then, like, these guys, like, a couple years ago, but just that whole gap where I wish I probably got into it a bit more.
Yeah.
I think first time, like, I used to play Madden on the GameCube.
Yeah.
It was like 2003.
Oh, bloody hell.
Years ago. And like I remember I picked my team then, and then like I kind of like I didn't really follow them, but like when I saw them on TV, I'd watch them. And then in 2012 I did Camp America.
Right.
And like I remember like it was a really like sort of like posh kid camp. So like these massive guys were turning up like to pick the kids up. And I was like, what's your dad do? He's like, oh, he plays for like the Dolphins.
Right.
And like I wish I'd known then, like not I know now.
Yeah.
Off of them. But like I saw these guys and I was just like, oh yeah, let's go. And then like speaking to more people in America and like sitting in bars and watching it, and then since then I've just like got an appreciation for it, and like being over there to watch a game and go to Wembley every year. And yeah.
Cool.
Someone threw a football at me at a barbecue and I caught it, and from there on I was like, right, I want to do this now, and that's my story.
Well, actually, it's like the introduction to
I think
like
to a sports film.
Yeah. Like all of a sudden you catch it and it's like.
I know, yeah. It was the last time I caught a football, I think, about 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, and we were. In fact, it was one of your barbecues where we were drunk trying to throw one over a tree and catch it. Like, on the other side.
That was probably the first time I played it as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh well,
like,
that was it.
Someone threw a football at me at university, and then.
One-handed catch. Yeah. So I was like, kid, you should be in the NFL.
Montage.
Yeah.
And then,
just catching one-handed catches in that.
So
yeah, that was it. Someone threw a ball and then it was like, oh, I'll learn to Google it and have a look at how to properly throw a ball, and then it was like, then YouTube starts recommending watch this run, and then you watch it, you're like, wow, it looks good, this looks really good.
Yeah.
And that was it, really.
The only thing is, someone invited me at university to go and play, and I was like, nah. So I could have been
Coventry.
Like, you were saying?
In Coventry.
Yeah. So I could have been like in the NFL by now.
But you didn't.
No.
It's like when I was at uni, the first, that kind of first week you have where you get your
Freshers Week.
Yeah, but then
society.
You have all the friends. Yeah. I think I signed up to like 15 different societies. So I was just like super excited. I was like, I'm in the city, I'm on my own. I'm just going to do everything, like basketball, kung fu, yoga, like.
Yeah.
Literally signed up to them all. Didn't go to one.
Like, could have been the NFL by now.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. That'll be it.
I was quite rugby heavy because I was in Leeds, so everyone was just Leeds Rhinos.
You can't play that around there, can you?
No, I didn't even really pay attention, but I lived like right next to the stadium and that, and I was kind of like, if only I was into rugby, this would be great, but I don't give a shit. So
I tried playing rugby. Well, I was in the States. I played sevens, and we like went to this tournament, this all-day tournament, and like our like camp owner was like obsessed with rugby. Like he'd get us up at like 5 in the morning to go and train.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue what I was doing, right?
Is this on the programme, this or what? Nope.
I didn't have a clue what I was doing, and we turned up to this tournament, and we played a few teams, and one of them was like all college football players. And like we got destroyed by them. So like I was like, well.
Oh, wasn't the lads who were like 50 years old on your team?
Well, we played that game, and then I was like, well, I'm just gonna get battered all day. And then the next team we played was like this retired like team of all like 50-year-old guys. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for this. I remember like tackling this man like so hard that like he lay there for a second just going, and like he was same age as my dad at the time, like absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "You alright?" He's like, "No, I know what I signed up for."
Well, sure, I'm gonna keep playing, sir.
And then I think he sat out the rest of the game.
Right.
I didn't see him play after that. So.
Yeah, he killed him. It's funny because in jiu-jitsu tournaments, everything's kind of age bracketed. So up until 18, it's like juniors. 18 to 30 is adults, and then if you want, like 30 to 35 is its own category. 35 to 40 and so on. And like I'm 30 now, so I was like, I'll do like, it's called Masters, so I thought I'll do Masters 1, because like I thought, fucking hell, I'm fast. I still think I'm like relatively athletic, and I thought, yeah, it'd be great. And someone pointed out to me like dad strength, and they were like, you're going to be going against like 35-year-old bloke who just mows the lawn like once a week. carries kids all the time and that. Yeah. I was like, that's a good point. That I might stick with the adult category. I thought you were going to say you went up against loads of 50-year-old blokes and you got splattered, but
these were like
because of dad strength.
These were like fat old Americans that like just like last minute decided to put a team together. Like we were wearing like t-shirts with like numbers drawn on them and stuff.
Right.
We turned up in our like our uniforms really nice because like I said, this was
for the camp.
Up.
Yeah.
And then just like ended up killing and the thing is, the thing is they like don't have the NHS as well, so I think he was probably making it out as if it was like it wasn't as bad as it was.
He's probably lost his house and everything. You wrecked that man's
50
life.
grand just to get seen to.
Yeah.
The thing is, if he had pads and helmet on, he'd be all right. That's the thing. Playing American football, he would have been all right.
It's the guilt. That's why I don't play rugby anymore.
It's every time you see that old man that you're my knowledge of, as I mentioned, American football just comes down to watching it at the Super Bowl every year, which is great, and I have a lot of fun doing it. A team that I chose to support 7 years ago based on the logo won this year. I didn't realise they were in the Super Bowl, so I was like, this is pretty good, it's about time. I think I'll put a bet on them every year except this year as well. So, because I'm already interested in so many things that to add American football into it, if I didn't have a job then I'd probably have time, you know what I mean? But what positions do you all play, and what does that entail? Like obviously linebackers and runners and shit. I don't know what you do. They all sound good, but you mentioned you're a bit heavier, so
yeah. So I'm a linebacker. I'm an outside linebacker, which is kind of like I guess the faster of the linebackers. So I'm clearly not one of the very big lads who stands in the middle, but I'm the one on the outside who kind of covers the tight ends and slot receivers. I'm assuming this is all.
No, like
straight over. Yeah. So essentially, like if a pass comes short, it's my job to block it. If a running back comes through with the ball, it's my job to kind of tackle him and stuff like that.
So and are you defensive then?
Yeah, on the defence. Yeah. So it's just a lot of tackling really. Yeah. Tackling, shedding blocks, and that's about it.
Yeah. Obviously, in America, they switch the whole team offensive and defensively. Is there enough people in the UK to do that? Do you have an offensive team and a defensive team, or do you play an offensive position as well?
Some of us play both.
Yeah. Does that happen in American football in the NFL, or is it just literally?
You get like a thing called special teams, so they're the ones that are like on the kicks and like on the like returns.
Yeah.
So like you'll have like someone who plays like defense, catch a ball and like run back with it. So that's like the only time you should really be catching the ball on purpose.
Okay.
But not very often do you get someone, maybe in college but not in the NFL, someone playing both ways.
Yeah.
Rarely on special players sometimes.
Yeah.
I think we end up playing both sides. I mean, at practice you generally split off into offense and defense, but the games we've played, we've kind of had to go both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I don't, because I can't catch, so I don't play on the offense very much. But you've played corner.
Yeah, I tend to play. I play mainly on the offense, so like I'm a receiver, but I'm in the slot. So I'm like you'll have like your wide receivers, then I'm in the slot because I'm not that as quick as I should be.
Right.
So I'm the one that catches all like the short passes and gets absolutely destroyed by like linebackers in the middle of the field. So I tend to catch all the yards and make all the yards, and then Johnny makes the big plays.
Right. Yeah, the glory plays.
Magic happens.
Wide receiver. Yeah. So you catch the ball out there and get a touchdown.
Yeah, just run maybe some deeper routes. And maybe draw people away. So it works in Rob's favour sometimes. Sometimes not, and then he just gets annihilated. Usually it's the more kind of the diva receiver.
Right.
So
what happens? Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Not for us.
Does the front flip over like?
Yeah. Hurdles a few players in that.
Have you seen those videos where someone catches the ball and then instantly gets knocked out? That's like what I do.
It's a slot receiver, instant flattened. Yeah.
He catches it. A split second after he catches it, he'll get like a helmet to helmet.
Yeah.
And he'll be knocked out. That's that.
Into some dog poo. Straight down into some dog poo.
And in England and British teams and stuff, is there a big scene for it in England? It feels like it's growing, obviously. Like everyone's kind of awareness of it is coming up.
It kind of depends on the area. So like teams like in London, like I think you have like 3 or 4 London teams.
Yeah.
And they have like huge rosters, like 100-man rosters, and like you'll have players in there they'll never see game time because they're good players. But like, we're quite a new team in terms of like contact. We used to play a different like form of the game.
Yeah.
So we're kind of getting more and more players weekly, but we don't have enough to play, like to just play one side of the ball at the minute.
Okay.
But yeah, it's getting massive. Like, you know, like I said, like we all went to Wembley last year. Like we've been going.
Yeah.
Like you've gone a few years. I've been going like 2 or 3 years, and every single year there's more and more people showing up.
It sells out every year, doesn't it? The 4 international games sell out every year. So
it's getting harder and harder to get tickets. And so
it is, obviously you can kind of sense that it's becoming more and more popular, like as time goes on. Even just the stuff that I see, and the more people I'm starting to see that get involved with it, just like from a very peripheral view, is quite interesting. What do you think it is? Do you think it's like a little bit of kind of like Americana, like the culture behind it? It's a little bit different because we all do, you know, like interesting sports, but we all could have just played football, and it's a fucking massive British sport. You know what I mean? I know you're a big Man U fan.
Yeah. Don't say that.
That's it. Lots of followers there. Yeah, but like it's funny, isn't it? Like, why do you think why do you think we're kind of wired to go that way?
It's just been growing year on year, isn't it? I think the international games help, but
there's
more coverage now. Like Sky coverage, it used to be on Channel 4. Early in the morning, but now Sky kind of do all
like 2 weekly BBC shows as well, isn't it?
Like
after clock
and social media as well.
Yeah.
Like even if you just follow like NFL players, there's some like really charismatic ones that are just good to follow. Like Von Miller, if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah.
Just following his like Instagram or whatever, or like OBJ. Or
Beckham's like a rock star.
Yeah.
And they
seen a video of him with, well, it was like a second Snapchat video of a girl with some questionable substances. Yeah. That's how I know him.
Well, that's it. They just keep behaving like rock stars, don't they?
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, I mean, for ages, I kind of hear things about Beckham now. It's like, you know, obviously just thought of like David Beckham. Then like something clicked, and I thought that's not the Beckham I grew up with. You know what I mean? That's a much different Beckham. Yeah.
He's had a haircut. You can see he's had a haircut. That David Beckham. So people like that. I mean, like Rob said, the internet's a big thing. It's spreading around, but like there's more opportunity to play as well. Like in our local area, we've got like 4 teams I can think of that aren't even university teams. When you take into account universities, they all have a team as well. There's a big like contact football community. There's a big flag community as well. So lots of people play flag football too, which gets people into the sport. So
it's a lot less daunting thinking I can kind of figure out because like the tactics side of American football is a fucking maze, isn't it? You know, like people have like playbooks and stuff, and you know, literally dedicate the whole lives to the tactics of American football because there's so many different players, so many different things you can do. So kind of adding all that into like getting smashed in the head by people. If you could do it flag, like Steam started out as a flag team.
That's the thing. It's like it's hard enough catching a ball. Like they make it look really easy, but it's like not. Especially when it's raining and like you've got like cheap plastic balls that you're using. And then
people trying to kill you.
So it's hard enough like that. And then you've got the fear of like, I'm catching the ball, and then literally a split second later, like I could be like absolutely sparked out. So like I remember the first few times transitioning from flag to contact, I was like flinching, like catching the ball and like flinching and like then not securing it and dropping it. So it is a good way, like you say, it's like a gateway sort of thing.
It simplifies it as well because you instead of having like 11 players and it all being just a big, because when you watch it for the first time it's just a big mash in the middle and you're like, where's the ball? Like what am I looking for here? Like when you're watching it on TV. But playing flag simplifies it a lot because you've got 5 people, there's no offensive and defensive line, you can just kind of run your routes and stuff like that. Nice and easy. But nowhere near as fun, obviously. It's just not kind of, no one grows up watching flag football being like, I want to play that, mate. Like people watch like the NFL and they're like, some people do.
I cannot wait to get his flag.
But like,
so seriously.
But even, it's in America they call it like powder puff football, and what they do is they raise money. The cheerleaders will play it before an actual game to raise money. So like, the second I found out that was it, I was like, let's play contact. Like, it's mental.
Like I've got nothing against like people that play flag because there's people that play obviously because like they've had injuries, they play contact, they've had injuries, or they're getting old. Like I'll probably go back to like when I can't play anymore, like play contact anymore, just because I enjoy it that much. But like some people take it so seriously. Like as well, like we got a bit of a bad rep because we played flag as like a means to an end. Like so, because to start a contact like team, obviously it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of time. So, we thought we'll play a flag until we get to a point where we can start playing contact. So we got a bit of a bad reputation by being like too rough in flag.
He's too rough playing American football.
He's pushing him. We like catching balls and like barging into people, which you're not really supposed to do. Like obviously it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
But people
killer
like,
instinct that though.
Somebody probably the hardest hit I've ever had was in flag. Just like because I caught the ball and then someone like sort of speared me and like I must have like landed square mid with no pads.
Yeah.
I got up and like brushed it off.
So you don't wear pads in flag.
No.
So you get up, like I got up and like brushed it off. I was like a bit shook up. I was like, oh, it's alright. Like it's part of the game. Like you know.
Yeah.
So I'm dead hard, but but like this, I think the same game. Some guy like he got whipped in the face with a flag and literally laid on the floor. I was like, you're just being slapped by a tassel, and like you're lying on the floor, like, and the game had to stop.
I can remember a game stopping because I stood on someone's foot during a game. He lied on the floor. Let's stop the whole game. So I picked him up, shook his hand, and he was like, "All right, well, you're still getting penalised for that." And they still got a 10-yard penalty because I stood on someone's foot by accident. So you don't get that. That being said, the worst injuries I've had have been playing non-contact American football.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know why it is. Maybe you're faster without your pads on or something like that. But broke 2 fingers and I kind of sprained an ankle, like really bad sprain. Of an ankle just playing flag football. So I was like, you're gonna have to play contact, lads. This is too dangerous. This getting banged up here. Pass me a helmet.
My worst injury, we've been running Oklahomas, which are like literally drills where you have like a lane and you get handed off a ball and run straight at a defender and have to get through them. So it's quite like hard drills.
Yeah.
And then we did that, I came out fine. And then 5 minutes later, did like handoff drills. So somebody passes you a ball and you catch it, you secure it, and then run with it. And I did it, tripped over, landed on my knee, and tore my patella. Nobody would touch me, and I tripped myself over, and then couldn't play for 8 months. Well, like, not properly.
You have to go for rehab for that as well?
Yeah, proper, like physio and everything.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. So ever since then I've been slow as well.
Yeah.
That's why I play slot now.
I mean, yeah. I do remember like this is going way back, but you like falling down some stairs on a bike and your bottom tooth going through your top lip.
That's because I was copying you.
Yeah. I still feel bad for that, but yeah. So remember, more accident prone people like.
Yeah.
But you used to manage it, so.
You must get hurt playing, doing your thing though.
I last week I thought I'd re-broke my arm that I broke really? 6 months ago. That was kind of out of stupidity. It's funny because obviously we're all getting a bit older, and jiu-jitsu can be it's called the gentle art, right? But it's not.
It doesn't look gentle. I saw a video of you running down a lane and people whipping with you with belts because you'd done something right. Like, well done, lad.
That's you, well done. Like, nice one.
Didn't do it.
Absolutely walloped it. People do get hurt. It's almost like So I kickboxed for a few years. I did a lot of Thai boxing, and I thought about doing MMA, and then I got really interested into jiu-jitsu because it's quite cerebral. It's kind of like playing chess, but your body is on the line. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like the martial art that people can do if they don't want to get punched in the head anymore.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's not brutal. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I've got like marks on my face from rolling yesterday. Yesterday we were doing the guillotines, which is just choke like straight across there. So just practicing on each other. So like I woke up this morning and I was like, well, I can't really talk and my neck really hurts. But it's like doing that's quite painful. But these are the things we do for.
Do them drills with us.
Let's do choke out drills.
Do some nasty stuff.
But you must love it though, like.
Oh yeah.
To go and someone be like, right, I'm going to choke you today, and you'd be like, no bother.
Yeah, this is mint, and it is. It's so strange. I mean, everyone. It's kind of famous for getting called like simulating murder because the game is you go against your opponent and you've got to get them in some sort of like joint lock or like a twist or a choke so that they tap, and a tap is you've got me. Like if someone's got me in an armbar and I can't get out of it, in real terms, that person, if like
they'll break your arm if you keep
break my arm, and then that's it. I'm fucked. I can't fight with a broken arm. I'll just have to go to hospital. And if you don't tap when you're getting choked, you just pass out. If you pass out in a fight situation, like outside in Middlesbrough Town Centre or whatever, that person might just stand on your head. You know what I mean? It's But you can practice that without actually having the ramifications of it.
No, where do I sign up?
I love it. And like I say, it's brought out the competitiveness in me.
Have you hit that stage? So when you first start playing American football, when you first get hit, like the first big, like if it's helmet to helmet, it's horrible because it's loud inside the helmet when yours hits someone else. When you first get it, it's absolutely awful. Like, I can remember my first hit, like really big one, fall into the ground, and before I'd even hit the deck I was like, I wonder how much money I'd give for my helmet if I sold it, like on eBay. And then like kind of picked myself up and kind of got on with it and felt like I was going to cry and stuff. But like now when I get hit, like there's a real like adrenaline rush of like that was mint, like I really enjoyed that. Do you get that in yours as well, where you get walloped and you're like, yes, this is why I'm doing it?
I don't know, for me, it was, I started kickboxing, and when I first sparred, I was terrified. I'm like getting like adrenaline just thinking about it now. Like, it was so scary. Like the thought of just standing in front of someone and they're going to kick or punch me in the face is like horrific. And then when it does happen, you kind of go, oh, I'm still here. Like everything's fine. I haven't got brain damage yet. You know, you kind of go, oh, I can take that. So then you go, oh, maybe I'm not made of glass or whatever, and it kind of builds your confidence. With jiu-jitsu, obviously, because there's no strikes, it's more like, because I've got a certain level of knowledge, which is still quite small, but more than someone that obviously doesn't do jiu-jitsu. If someone gets me in something now, I'm more like, how the fuck did you do that? That was really cool. Like, because I'm just like, oh, normally I'd move my legs this way to give like my hips some movement so I can escape, but I couldn't do that with you. So it's more like you just proper geek out, because I'm like, oh, what did you do there? Like, how did you do that thing? In jiu-jitsu, like, I mean, it's full of geeks. Everyone's like a fucking gamer and stuff, and there's like hard lads, but it tends to weed out like the people that think they're like big, rough and tough and ready, because they come in with big egos. And it's a lad we train with called Callum, who's a good friend of mine, and I think he's like 65 kilo. He can compete in the kids division. But he's about 27, and he'll go up against a guy who's maybe 100 kilo, and like it's almost funny. He's like a spider. He just fucking go out the back and just talking about. And these big dudes that like lift a lot of weights in the gym, and they used to kind of like being the boys around town. All of a sudden have this kid on them, and they're like,
game over.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's quite geeky. You tend not to have that adrenaline stuff unless it's a competition. Competition's different. I compete maybe 2-3 times a year, whereas you guys probably play another team 10-15 times a year.
I think in the league,
you get about 12 games in a league, about 12 games, something like that.
Games off next year.
So maybe like in a competition, obviously there's a lot kind of more adrenaline on the line, but it's more about those like instant moments where you get kind of caught and stuff. That's the end of you in the competition. You know what I mean? You get tapped and then you're out. So it's more like, for fuck's sake, why do I cuddle men? Like, why do I pay to join these competitions where people try and strangle me? When you like lay it out when you've had a bad day at jiu-jitsu, you're like, this is fucking stupid. I hate it.
Oh yeah, well, it's a similar thing for us.
Yeah, it's like you have good days and bad days. Like, I could drop everything one day, and then like I'd come away from training like, well, why am I doing this? Yeah, you do, don't you? You just go like, or I could have a mid day and then make one easy, like what should be an easy catch, make a drop, and then walk away from it, and that's all I think about.
It's mental, isn't it? Like, if you
I'll be like in bed thinking about it.
Or you're going to catch something and you drop it, like, shit.
Yeah.
So then you'll go back, and then when you're ready for your next one, you'll have that in your head, like, drop that one, I can't drop the next one.
And
then if you drop the next one, it's just, you're on down the spiral.
Then you don't get past two after that. You don't get the chance to drop anything.
Cut from the team.
Well, so, like, in what we do, like in the wide receiver, we could only get maybe thrown the ball once or twice in a whole game. Or over like a couple of hours. So you got to make it kind of count. It's on your side, I guess you can hit people as often as you want, run after people, and probably.
It doesn't feel like that, because like if like you said, if I'm blocking your side and you get past it once a game, and there's not a particularly big run game, then I'm covering you all day. Like, I'm just bored all day. Just chasing you, and nothing's happening. I mean, I'm not bored, but like, the ball doesn't come to you. So again, it's like if you miss a tackle that you should have got, you're like, well, that was my opportunity. Now I'm cut, and then that's it.
It's definitely confidence, I think. If I catch something, I'm like, I've done it, and then the next one, catch it again. miss out on something.
There's still a lot to the game though. I mean, even if you're not catching the ball, like you're blocking people on run plays and stuff, and like personally, like I find that more fun because like we've established I can't catch a football, but like the whole blocking thing is really fun. If you block someone down the field, that's a great
over sometimes.
Yeah.
You go on defense, and I don't know, it's a different feeling because you guys have like got that kind of connection where you stop someone and you're all like, yeah, stop them.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. But with us, we run a route, we come back to the huddle, we run it again.
We
don't get time to kind of like celebrate and have that kind of relationship.
Yeah. So you know when you get a good, like when you get a good blocking, that's pretty good. But I mean, it's still not the same. Yeah, it's not the same.
It's a good feeling when you do it. No, we're not meant to do it, but when we do, it's like it's pretty awesome.
The thing is, I was saying this the other day at training. Like, we had like loads of receivers, and so like me and Johnny are probably like the most experienced receivers on the team.
Okay.
So I was like, well, we'll let some of the new guys like get in on that side of the ball, and I'll go and like work on tackling because I'm no good at it. So like I flipped over to defense, and it was absolutely terrifying. Like I'd much prefer getting hit than
hitting,
throwing my head. Obviously not go head, but throwing like my head in that like at someone who's running full speed at me. It's just awful. Like I couldn't do it. Like I tried.
The complete flip side of that. Like I've intercepted the ball once and then be like, oh god, and then
do this.
Run straight to the offensive line. You're like, there's that 100 stone. Here we go, and like just trying to try and break around them. Hear someone run behind you, going like growling after you. It's just horrific. So, but
if someone like runs behind me up the stairs, I'm like, fuck off. Like, never mind £100 fucking dude.
I caught something at practice. Was it this week? The ball came into me and I'm thinking, I'm going to catch this. When I catch it, I'm going to run. And literally just caught it. And then Rob tackled me from one side. And then Rob Darlington, who's like twice the size of Rob, tackled me from the other side. And just like went back, head smashed off the floor.
Fuck.
And it's like, you're not even getting a chance. It's like,
to then run.
It's
the thing,
coverage that.
Right.
Scary,
sometimes I can just be walking with my phone in my hand and just drop it, and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, how did that? I'm fairly certain I had hold of that, and like, you know, like I've done it with like food and stuff. Maybe I'm just clumsy or my grips in jiu-jitsu are fucking my hands up, but like, so like to then have a ball and then have the pressure of keeping hold on to that, like
that's the other thing as well. Once you've got that ball, you've got to hold on to it. So like, you're in with a ball and you're like supposedly high and tight,
kind of holding that like a baby.
And then you go in for like contact and you can like secure it, but then like defenders are taught to like punch at the ball, so like or like rip the ball. So there can be a guy who's like 10 times as strong as me trying to rip my arms, like and you've got to like try and hold on the ball, and obviously like if someone's ripping at it, it's kind of in its own right. You're still trying to like hold on the ball while like 3 people are tackling you, and like it's a nightmare.
You've got to keep hold of the ball all the way till you hit the ground.
Yeah. If that ball like starts to move, obviously we don't have like the replays.
It's supposed to be like explaining it to you, man.
Like in the NFL, they have replays so they can like look at the split second, like his knee was like an inch off the floor and the ball started moving. It's kind of like it has to be obvious with us, but I mean, the amount of times you just forget to hold on to the ball.
Like our coaches hammer it into you, don't they? It has to become second nature. Like even if you just like if one of our coaches, Brian, if he sees us and we're kind of throwing the ball back and forth and you don't catch that ball, then tuck it in, then secure it, like just in a little pass around before practice even started, you're doing up downs.
Right. Okay.
That's kind of how it works.
Up down like a burpee.
Like a sprint on the spot, push up, sprint on the spot.
It's like a burpee with sprints in between.
Okay.
And they'll tell you when to go down.
That sounds horrific.
Yeah.
He's a horrific man.
That's why you don't drop the ball.
You don't drop the ball. Secure the ball. Tuck it in.
I don't mean to like offend anybody, but so if you look at the Premier League, it's, I mean, sometimes it can be quite like beautiful to watch. Like some of the stuff is fucking amazing. Same with the NFL. Now, if you compare the Premier League to like Billy Town,
I know you say.
Is it the same with?
It looks like, right? You know when you watch the slow-mo replays of NFL? That's what I want, like real-time plays.
Right.
Like, it was so slow. Like I'll like be running like full speed, and like one of the coaches will be like filming on the sideline. I'm like, like I absolutely burned everyone there. And then I watch it back, and it's just like balls flopping all over the place. Like
the worst thing is you'll do something like you'll take down like the biggest lad on your team, like absolutely like destroy, put him on the floor, and you'll get up and expect this massive like cheer. Just stand up,
like an applause.
And it's like on the sideline, like, tackle, and you're like covered in mud, and you're like, ah. Get back in there then. Okay.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
There's especially when it comes to games, like you learn all this technique, and it's like, right, you should like eye to the thighs, like drive for 5, and like grab cloth, and it's all these like things that you learn, like head up and things like that. And then when it comes to a game, you forget it all and you just throw yourself at someone.
Yeah,
really, like
it looks daft sometimes.
It's not beautiful at all.
I feel like that comes with time though, and I'm still learning, like with jiu-jitsu and competing and stuff. I watch like videos of, there's some video out there like on the internet somewhere of me competing, and I'm like, it looks dreadful. Like this, like you start standing and you take people down and the fun shit happens on the floor, but you've got to get from standing to the floor. So we do drill takedowns a lot of the time, do a lot of wrestling, and if you like hit it right, there's a thing called double leg takedown, which is like lovely, probably applies quite well to American football. But what I thought I was doing was that. What I actually did is just spear them, like just like full on, like head down, back bent, and just like kind of ran at them like that. And obviously it didn't work. But like afterwards, I thought that was a sweet takedown, that. And then I kind of watched it back and I was like, yeah, that's why I didn't win.
I've been doing like tackling drills, like because I knew I wasn't very good at tackling, so I was like, right, I'll train and focus on that. I'll get tackling drills. But we came to a game, and like they're handing the ball to like the biggest guy, and he's running like fast he can on the field. And I look around and I'm like, oh, shit, I'm the only guy. I have to tackle him. So I was like, all this like sort of like reps and technique and came back to me and stuff like that. And I was like, right, I know what I'm going to do. Then I went for it, and like just absolutely like he hit me square on the top of the head, like creased me, like like proper like laid there for a second and thought I broke my neck. Yeah. Because my technique was that bad, and like I was just like.
Yeah, but then we got up and we went and spoke to the other team afterwards. We stood talking to the captain of the other team. He was like, "I'd have got out of the way, mate."
The thing is, well, I tackled him and he'd already scored. Yeah. So I tackled him in the end zone. Then he broke my neck in the end zone. He already scored it.
He was like, "I'd have tripped over. I wouldn't have got there. I'd just gone that."
Is there like an owner of your team? Is it like some Darlington?
Yeah. Well, three. Well, Daz and Lee set it up, didn't they?
Okay.
I guess they're the owners.
Like a family.
It's like a co-op, innit? It's like a co-op.
Yeah.
We all own a share in it, I guess. But we've got head coaches. We've got 3 head coaches, and then we've got some player coaches as well. Yeah. So there's like a top-down structure. You have to have a structure in place to be part of the league.
Right. There's 2 like official owners of the team, and then there's a committee that run that team.
All right.
And there's like players on that.
Yeah.
Also,
and what's your league called? What?
It's the British American Football Association. So
all right, cool. And is there like level? You know, like again, like Premier League is my only frame of reference for sports leagues and stuff. But.
So there's a Prem division, and then there's D1 and D2, I think.
Yeah, Division 1, Division 2.
And there's what we are. We're an associate team, so we're not in the league playing games at the minute. But we're going through an associate process, so you have to do like a year to prove that you're going to be like a sustainable club before you enter the league.
Right.
So we're going through that process at the minute.
That's pretty cool.
You play friendly games in that time to prove that you can put on friendly games. And stuff like that.
Prove that you've got somewhere to play and kind of host
games.
You've
got to put up like it's really detailed. You got to put up like your bank balances and stuff to show that you're financially sustainable and
like 2-year plans and like even like listing like rosters and like where if people have played at different clubs before, because you have to have like a certain number of like new players. And
it's not like very complicated, isn't it?
It's really and we like somehow we've got involved in it, and like when you've just had your head knocked about for like a couple of hours, and then you go and start trying to do spreadsheets. It's after in a committee meeting, it's hard work.
I'm pretty sure I've already got concussion.
Have you?
CCA.
Yeah. The other day I was ironing and I went to put the iron in the fridge.
I used to when I like I don't know if you've seen helmets now. Like inside of this helmet, it's like it's a good one. I bet that sounds good on microphone. It's a good one, so it's all like
it's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's heavy. I don't know if you want to try it on like it's all padded inside. Like you blow up. But I'm gonna pull these bits out off, and then you can take the chin strap off and stuff. But that one's really nice. It's a really modern helmet, so really good. Wow.
I still can't quite.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it feels quite.
So it's nice and cushioned. So if you go over, you've got all them lovely kind of padding in there and stuff. But my old one, I bought, and it came out in like the year 2000, and it was just styrofoam that had gone rock hard. And like I would get hit in the head, and like one time I got hit in the head, and all the colour went out my vision. So I was just seeing in black and white like a dog would. And that night I was stood in the pub, and I was like, just swaying. And they were like, you alright? I was like, yeah, why? And like, you sway quite a lot. I was like, am I? Oh yeah. I think at that point I'd been concussed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to get the right helmet, fitting one as well.
I mean, I'd gone home from sparring quite a few times and went home and went, I've got a really bad headache. And like, this obviously isn't good for me. Yeah. It's probably one of the reasons I kind of knocked it on the head. When I got to a relatively good level in terms of Thai boxing and stuff, I think I was like probably 28, and I thought, well, I'm never going to be like a world champion. I'm not going to make money doing this. And then obviously I started getting more and more into jiu-jitsu, but it definitely played into it. Are you a bit worried about like long-term concussions? Obviously, have you seen the Will Smith film and stuff?
Nah.
It's a different level, isn't it?
Quite later in life.
Yeah. There's only so many years you can do.
You imagine when high school and college and you're going through all
they have like Pee-wee leagues, don't they? Like kids start playing when they're like 8 years old in America.
Yeah, that's insanity for.
So and like they hit harder than us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's.
So obviously you're gonna even like sprinters get obviously the big thing is CTE at the minute.
Yeah.
Like even sprinters get CTE from
from that much, just like
even
sloshing around.
brain jiggling,
like rally drivers and all sorts. So if you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. So
probably worse for us because we all used to be headbangers. So.
Yeah.
In mosher bands.
Do you know what? You just reminded me. I was going to bring something up earlier when you were on about video of you running and then actually like you're running really shit. I was telling this story the other day that at a gig at some point I felt like I was proper moshing there, and I felt like I must have looked cool as fuck. Like, and then because that's what you think when you're abandoned it. And then I watched the video back and I'm literally like doing this, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to try so much harder. But like my neck was hurting and shit, so I was like,
yourself whiplash.
Yeah.
I do that now, like when I'm, because like I used to play drums, I moved on to bass now, like, and I'm in cover bands, and like I'm like thinking I'm like rocking out, and then I watch a video back and I'm stood completely still, looking proper miserable.
But yeah, probably got a concussion from headbanging, maybe at other people's gigs, I don't know. But yeah, probably took a few knocks in the head. Like my counter argument, I guess, is earlier on we were talking about. I feel like just by moving your body a lot more, which you are by playing American football, even if you just practice once a week, you're going to be a healthier, fitter person probably. I know you're taking knocks and fucking spraining your ankle and shit and breaking your patella.
You kind of see it. I mean, when we first started playing, especially, like I would come out of practice and I'd have these bruises that just literally went all the way down my arm and stuff like that. Like I can remember tackling someone and their shoe coming up and kicking me in the bottom of my knee, and it really hurt my knee, and then the bruise went all the way down my shin. And like I was like, I can't believe that. Whereas now, like, because you play it so frequently, like you take bigger hits than what we did when we first started, but you don't get the bruises.
Become more resilient, don't you?
Your body just naturally gets tougher. I guess.
Oh, like my shin goes numb. I've got
I've got a numb patch.
I've got like a lump on my leg that's like, it's a piece of my knee that is just kind of like shaved off, and that's from skateboarding that. But yeah.
You say something totally different in a year's time when
we
come
back in a wheelchair.
Yeah. And we're retired.
We'll have to film this downstairs next year.
No ramp to get upstairs.
The thing is though, it's like the nature of the game, and like the best thing to do is to coach like safe practice.
Yeah.
Which on this team, especially this team, is very important. Like, and the coaches are very aware of it. And the reason this team was brought together was because of like experiences they've had on other teams.
All right.
And like they had such a bad like introduction and were just thrown in the deep end and came away with like head injuries and stuff.
Right.
So then they were like, well, we'll do it properly and we'll get together and we'll start a team that teaches you the fundamentals before you start hitting people and getting hit.
Yeah.
Which is what we do. Like when someone comes to us for the first time, we have like 4 weeks to progress, and then at that point, that's when you start joining like in scrimmages and like start doing proper drills.
Well, even if you're on the rookie squad the first 4 weeks, you're still playing the games at the end, but you're like redshirted. So like people don't tackle you straight away because there's nothing worse than showing up first week and having someone who totally knows what they're doing just smashing you out on the floor.
Like anything.
Like anything, yeah. So you kind of like you get a real flavour for it. You're still wearing pads and helmet and stuff, but it's like a gradual welcome into it.
Which
which I think is the team's selling point, because we hear so many horror stories about people who go to like the more established teams, or even not even the more established ones. It's like, right, we're doing tackling drills, off you go, there's your pads, there's your helmet, off you go. You can break your neck doing that. You know, if you tackle someone with your head down, you'll compress your spine.
Thinking about it, talking about what we were talking about earlier, the very first time I played American football was in 2013. I tried out for another team around here, and
you're never shaming.
No, I'm
only joking.
But they were like really established at the time, like one of the biggest teams in the area, and there was like 50 people training. Like I turned up and I'd never like done any sport. Like the most like running I ever done was like running down the stairs, like for like like
running after an ice cream van.
And then literally in that week, it was me and the guy from this team that went down. We were throwing in full tackle drills, and like you know when you come home like from a good leg day and you can hardly walk.
Yeah.
It was like that, but times 10 all over my body. Like we pulled up to get out of the car, and I literally couldn't. Like, it's like sort of
literally.
Yeah, I took, like it literally got to the point where I had to like do that with my leg. And that was just like 10 minutes after training.
Yeah.
And it's like not a safe way to do things at all.
It's just, I feel like it's just a bit of a dickhead way to do things.
There's a certain teams. Not saying there's any around here, but you hear like horror stories from everyone.
Yeah.
Certain teams, they like just like to like be hard, because I think like there's like an arrogance and an ego to it, and it's just like there's not worth it, because at the end of the day you're doing it for a laugh, and like you know, we're not NFL, so
there was a similar, and probably is still like a similar culture around like mixed martial arts gyms, which like the nature of walking into an MMA gym is pretty terrifying, as you can imagine, and some of them are just still, because it's a relatively new sport in terms of it's still growing and it's still kind of finding its feet in the world and stuff. There's like gyms back in the day, and there's probably still some now where like you're sparring your first day and you probably get the shit beat out of you, and you were kind of, if you kept coming back and kept getting the shit beaten out of you, but you were committed enough to keep coming, then like they take you a bit seriously. Obviously now gyms are a bit more modern, and they're like, well, let's not kill our training partners, like let's, you know, like build these people up, because of things like concussion and stuff like that. So I feel like just generally as this American football and MMA just kind of grow, that'll probably get like left out a little bit, you know what I mean, when people become a bit more sensible and a bit more realistic about it.
You've got good role models in MMA, like Conor McGregor and
smashing out that bus last week. Nice bloke.
No, it depends who's running your team, I guess. Like whatever sport you're doing, if you have like someone who just wants to kind of prove a point and be like, I'm much bigger than you, then you're gonna get smashed up on you. But we've always,
they're the ones we like to pick on in jiu-jitsu.
Well, like the motto, I would say, our coaches, I would say, like, dickheads don't last. I would say, just because they just get weeded out, because it's just not that mentality. It's like if you want to show up and be a big guy, that's all right, but you take part in the drills with everyone else, and you do it step by step, and you kind of build into it, and then.
It's even things like saying hi, like new people come down, like people have come down to our team, and like you talk to them, and then they say like, I appreciate it so much, you're actually like acknowledging that I'm here, because like I don't have a clue about the sport, and like I'm turning up to other teams and they just like ignore you.
But even just like in any scenario, I feel like that's quite a nice thing, whether it's a fucking new job or like the football team, American football team, like. Just doing anything new is intimidating by nature, really, I guess, isn't it? So even like going to the fucking gym and lifting weights, someone saying hello to you makes a big difference. Like. So if I was to sign up for Steam Darlington, and
that's it, you're in now,
and do my 4 weeks, what's my first day look like in practice then?
Get the shit out of
a big dickhead comes along.
Everything we just said, you get tackled for an hour.
It depends, because it's a 4-week rotation, so you jump in wherever you are in that 4 weeks. So 1 week it'll be like introduction to tackling. So it's like literally like a step. Like first of all, you're gonna kneel in front of each other and you're gonna tackle while you're on your knees, and you feel like when you're a kid, kind of resting around on the floor and stuff.
It's quite accessible for people.
And then it builds up to like, right, now you're gonna stand up and do it, and then it's like, right, here's a tackle dummy. Now you're gonna run at the tackle dummy and show.
That looks like the most fun one, by the way. Just running at a tackle dummy. Like
them tackle dummies hit really hard though. That's the only
thing.
Really hit you hard. Big lads.
Mud. Like it's not fun in the mud, because like the other week. We got a brand new one the other week, and like I went to tackle it and like just bounced off it into a massive like puddle.
Oh, you tackle it because it's plastic, and if it's been raining, you go from like a torpedo for miles.
Right.
You have to carry it all the way back.
That sounds quite fun.
Yeah, it's great. It's the best bit. Do it on top of a hill. It's the best bit. But yeah, I mean, if you hit in the receiver week, you'll be learning what a route is, how to catch the ball. If you hit it during quarterback week, like not everyone winds up being a quarterback, but it's like, right, this is how you throw a ball, and when you're doing that, you kind of catch the ball and stuff. So it depends in where the 4 weeks you are.
While that's happening, kind of like the coaches and the other guys on the team, watching them and figuring out what might be a good position for people. Like,
I think what the coaches does, like we get, because we're the veterans now.
Yeah.
We get taken off to do the the actual kind of contact training and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like positional training, depending on what you are. The linebackers will go off and do linebacker drills. The receivers go off and do receiver drills. But it's like contacts involved as well.
It's kind of like obvious, like for certain players, like myself and Johnny would never be like linemen. Like, we just haven't got the weight. Whereas like some of like the 26 stone guys wouldn't ever be receivers. So you kind of like, you've got certain brackets on your abilities, but then like I knew that I always wanted to be like, I didn't want to be on the defence. I always wanted to like be involved with catching the ball. So I think most players come with like an idea of what they want to do,
where they're going to end up.
Whereas like some people just turn up and be like, well, just tell me where I'm going to be best at. And that's where the coaches come in.
I guess most of them are already going to have a working knowledge of the positions in American football before they kind of step through.
No, a couple of lads show up and don't know how the game works.
Okay.
We've got lads who are on the team now.
Still don't know the game works.
Don't know the game. Johnny over there. Run down there. Catch that.
That's all you need.
Actually, we played a game, wasn't it you? We did play a game when we were a flag team. You caught the ball and ran the wrong way down the field for a little bit. So every day's a school day. But yeah, like there's people there who don't know how to get, but you don't need to, because it's so positional. Like if you're a defensive tackle or something like that, it's like your only job is to run through this lad and hit that lad afterwards.
Yeah.
And you don't need to know anything else that's going on around you. You probably won't even see what's going on around you. Like just do that job. So yeah, it's you don't need to know what the game is to get into it. You can just come down and play straight away.
There's a place for anyone at Darlington, right?
But yeah, I mean that's the other thing. Like you were saying about his body sizes and things. Like some of our best players are like really like shorter than I am and stuff. I'm not a particularly big lad.
Yeah.
But there's like a misconception about you have to be a really big guy to do it. Because you see them on the TV and like your average NFL player is a big guy, but it's not the NFL. So people of all different sizes. Definitely not the NFL, no.
I think like from high school, there's only like 1.8. No, not even that. It's less than that, isn't it? It's like about 1% of like players that play in high school make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
So it's like all genetics. So
they reckon
like,
that now you kind of spot like there'll be just like a genetic freak somewhere in a certain school in America, and they'll go, you'll get to the NFL. Everyone else you can try as hard as you want, but it's like the best of the best of the best of the best.
They've been playing since like 4 or 5 years old, all the way through to like 16, and it's only like that elite that make it. After that,
that's all you train for as well, like your whole life.
Get a regular job, which is just like crazy.
Especially like a student athlete, like if you're playing for like Ohio State or someone like that, and the stadium's like 109,000 capacity. You play in front of all that, and then the next day it's like, right, you're an insurance salesman now.
And you don't get paid for college football either, obviously.
No, you don't get paid. You get a scholarship, so you get
you
get like your degree in that for free. But
it's a big bone of contention because the colleges themselves make a ton of money. Obviously,
I think there's petitions and like they're trying to get it through Congress that athletes can get paid a certain amount. I think they want to cap it at a certain amount.
I'm pinching this straight from Joe Rogan, but he was on about a guy who set up like a YouTube account. He was an American football player in a college in America, and kind of like just had a YouTube account about like talking about what he'd done at practice that day, and like getting a bit of traction, got quite a few followers and subscribers and stuff. And the college were like, you can't do that.
No way.
They're just like,
why? Because he was making money off of it.
Basically, they gave another reason, and they said like, oh, you might like slag a school off and get some trouble or something like that. But they were like, if you want to play American football here, you can't have that YouTube channel.
I think it's like, crazy. It's like if you're openly doing it, because I'm sure, like things going on in the background, like it definitely happens in the background. It's shady, like, but you couldn't openly do things. You couldn't openly accept money and like endorsements and things like that.
But if you post an Instagram photo wearing an Adidas t-shirt that you just happen to have sort of sent for some reason, then
That's another thing that like I really got interested in football was like the draft.
Yeah.
We love the draft. We've got like fantasy teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Years, but the draft, I think it's amazing because the shittest teams get the pick of the best players.
Yeah.
Because it flips. So like if you like Cleveland Browns, crap.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
It's like
I've got a Cleveland Browns long sleeve from a charity shop. Do you want it? Or like, does anyone want it?
This is their year. They're going to do all right. I'm not even a Browns fan, but I like them.
It's pretty retro, but
that's fine. The Browns are retro.
Well, that's exactly the thing. Like, that's one of the reasons why I don't really follow like English like football.
It's a lot of it's just money now, isn't it?
Yeah. Like everyone, is it right that you can you can pay what you want for a player?
Yeah, you don't. You can pay whatever you want
for a player.
So like
$500 a week they get paid.
Yeah.
And like it's capped in the NFL. Which
yeah, the NFL.
is consistent in it.
I think you're not all exactly the same, but you're all in the same sort of like amount. You can spend depending on like certain things. But like Johnny says, like you can have one team that like came last, and then next year they come in like.
Well, look at the Rams. The Rams
look at the Jags. The Jags got the championship game, and like last year they were like fifth pick in the draft.
Something like that.
I can't remember. So like they came like near the right league bottom. So it's different every year. Like
it keeps it competitive, but then like so the teams that are the best get the pick of the best players.
Yeah, they still get a chance to
players, and then they can improve.
Yeah.
And then the capping of it as well. The salaries is good, and like the Premier League. I think for me, why I lost interest in English football is it's all money. So like the top couple of teams will just keep going on.
They're just owned by billionaires now, aren't they?
Pay $200 million for a player. In the NFL, we've seen like already pre-season kind of big trades where the people just go
or just cut like Seahawks cutting the players, like all the players.
Cut their big players,
right?
Because they're not big enough.
Can't afford to pay them,
and then the other teams pick them up.
They
trade players as well. So I'd be interested to see if the Premier League ever went to that where you would trade one player from one team to the other.
Yeah.
Instead of paying money, if that comes into it. But I think that's another thing that I really like about the NFL is the draft and the trades. Which is always exciting.
And it's obviously it's not like a team thing, but one of my fascinations with it now is I've been like interested in it so long is seeing like the young players, fighters or whatever, like coming up and developing and getting better through the ranks. Conor McGregor, for example, like I watched one of his early fights on the prelims, and everyone was kind of like, oh, this mad Irish kid, like he's got a lot of potential, and obviously seeing him being a fucking superstar now, it's like it's fascinating kind of watching the people develop and stuff, which obviously the draft is a big part of that in the NFL, and kind of
it's like it's good because you can like people start watching players in high school, and you start getting like a buzz of players in high school, and then come through college and you get scouts that watch them, and you start getting like, depending on how much you follow it, you start like hearing about them in like the first year of college or stuff like that. And then like to see them actually hit the NFL, and like they could come in and they can be great, or they can come in, they've been amazing through college, and then just like be an absolute bust, like Mansell. Like
that was because he was drinking and all that. Literally, he would show up to practice literally drunk. He'd see he's a fantastic player.
He's coming back.
He's just drunk all the
time.
Yeah,
my kind of guy.
Yeah, I like it, mate. Bring him back, I say.
Cool.
Sorry. I was just gonna say it's good to watch in like. Yeah, just repeating my point. Like it's good to see them like grow through the years, and
or fail.
Yeah, it's good to watch this.
I'll start drinking. Cool. So we've done about an hour there. Unfortunately, Teesside generally don't have much more of a capacity for podcast past an hour at the minute. I could like talk to you all day about it, but if anyone was interested in signing up, or just kind of like talking to Darlington's team, or just getting a bit more interested in American football, where's the best place for them to find you?
We've got Facebook, and Instagram. We've got Twitter as well. I think best place is to message our Facebook.
Okay.
Just search Darlington's team. Just search Darlton's team on Instagram.
Got a rookie day coming up.
Yeah, we've got a rookie day coming up on the 21st. Is it?
21st of April.
All right, wicked.
Eastbourne.
Where is it you train?
Darlington, Eastbourne Sports Complex. Even if you don't want to come down on a rookie day, like I said, we've got a rookie program, so you can come down any time. Just drop into the thing and play games.
The rookie days are there, like just all our attention is going to be on you guys. And I mean, like the whole support system, mate, all the players are going to be helping out and everything. But you can just slot in at any time.
So how often do you practice a week?
Just once a week. We only practice once a week. 3 hour practice.
No experience
but like
needed.
we'll get together and kind of run routes and throw balls around and stuff like that, like once a week as well. So when it's sunny anyway.
There's no pressure. It's just we look forward to our practice.
It's a good laugh.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. It's alright.